so good on a Friday to be here. Now, there we go. Here, I found you. Now, so beautiful. We are live in Album Box to Roll 2024. And I'm here doing the adventure interview. And today's theme, carrying it on, of embracing curiosity. So I have Shannon Walls here with me, and she is an adventure extreme. She has been so many different places and tries so many different things, like from high mountains to, I forget what you were doing in Costa Rica, but rappelling. You're just open to so much, and not just the adventure of it, but also the culture and the people and the community is a big thing for you too. And she is now co-owner of Expedia Cruises in Kitchener. And I love connecting with her. And she's going to be coming on the Azores, epic Azores trip in September. So I get to adventure with her once again. She has been on the Swiss Eiger Hike Yoga last year. So I would love, my darling, to kick this off with what drew you to that adventure specifically? Because I know a lot of people in this group are going on that tour. And what was it that drew you to Switzerland?
Well, Switzerland in my mind, because I'd only spent a short time in Switzerland when I was young, and it was city life. But in my mind, Switzerland is a postcard. Well, look behind you, right? Like look at your backdrop. Everything there, I think, is just kind of got a unique, stunning beauty. And I wanted to experience the mountains. And I felt when I looked at all of the itineraries, I love the idea because I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. I love the idea of challenging myself to do the hut to hut. But because this would be my very first time hiking mountains in the Alps specifically like this, I felt it was a nice way for me to get my feet wet. And yeah, I didn't know anyone that had done it before, but I felt drawn to it, and yeah, I thought it was a nice place to start. And I will do the hut to hut at some point. I'm determined. I'll do this.
I know you will, girl, because there's just going to be expanding into all these different things.
Yeah.
But what I mean, there's 1,000 Swiss Eiger tours. What pulled you to this one?
Oh, well, you, girl, of course. Your
What?
energy. Yeah, it's like I know you, I make you laugh, but it's like I wanted to drink the Carrie Kool-Aid. I wanted to absorb your energy and your enthusiasm. You're just your joy to be, your zest for life, you know? I wanted to participate in that. And I was going through my own transition in life, and I was looking to find my inner grit and some confidence and understanding what I might be capable of, despite the limitations, circling, ruminating in my brain, about what I couldn't do. Right. And I wanted the challenge, and I knew that you were the person to help me break through that. And I didn't know you. I felt it. I felt it because we had had a couple of conversations. I had attended, I guess, an online overview that you were doing. And it was your energy, Carrie, just quite simply. Yeah.
And I think because, I mean, I'm all about energy, and I was pulled to the mountains for the same reasons. So I think that's also the pull. Like that's for my own limitations, going there and my own, looking into these inner mountains over the years, I was always pulled there. So I think that that's a natural why I'm pulling people there. Also energetically, is this isn't just about mountains and drinking wine. This is a little bit more. And the really cool thing is that Shannon, shortly before the trip, injured her knee, and had to have an operation. And she was, I would think most people would cancel the trip, but she was determined to continue on with the training. So what was that all about?
It was a really super boring skiing accident. I wish it was an exciting story. It just quite simply wasn't. My ski went one way, and as I was turning, my knee didn't all work together. And so yeah, I fully tore my ACL, my MCL, meniscus tears. I shredded myself basically. And I was just determined, and my surgeon said, do what you think you can do. I'm not going to tell you not to or that you can't. And again, part of me finding my grit, I think, was working through that. And I did it. I mean, I was, it's sometimes hard to look at something and say I was proud of myself, but I was proud of myself. Like, yeah, I think we're capable of doing a lot more than we think we are. Good, bad, or ugly. I just think our capabilities extend farther, a lot farther than we think they can.
Yeah, we're pulled for bigger reasons. And Shannon also ended up doing the extra parts that were optional that were, extra challenging parts that were not for everybody, but everyone has a choice there too for different sections. And she made sure she did those sections as well. So, I mean, everyone has their own things. Not that everyone has to do those sections. It's just that for her story, it was perfect. It was perfect. Yes, I have this thing, but how much the mental can and that drive pull us up the mountain and the beauty and everything else.
Yeah.
So what would you say in that week, or just, I would not even just say Switzerland, in what has been your biggest challenge in your adventure travels? You could say that trip or any trip. What have you come across where you learned something like,
Anything that I've come across that I would identify now as a challenge, was all inside. Was all something I made up. It was all something I worried about. It was a limitation that I had set for myself that I knew I couldn't do or I shouldn't do. Like, honestly, yeah, there's been a little bit of weather happen in some of my adventures. Never an injury, but some minor physical fallouts. But really the biggest challenge, biggest challenge in life for me has always been what's inside.
yeah.
Right. And I think in life, as human beings, we want to manipulate and strategize to make what's unpleasant out there pleasant inside. And yeah, so that's the bigger challenge, isn't it, Carrie? Like,
That is the challenge. Like,
yeah, like,
and that's, I love that you brought it up because that's kind of the core of what this is about. And also in the coaching side of thing, adventure coaching, we go in these mountains, but really, like you said it, these are actually the more challenging mountains than the 3,000-meter peaks, but they kind of go with each other, right? The things we learn as we climb, a lot of things are triggered inside. We're tested, we're triggered, we're with other people, which triggers. The weather sucks, the weather's great. We have all these things that, and also we're your work's not there, your title's not there, you're pure human like everybody else. So that's when things can get a little more vulnerable, a little more real, a little more raw. And I think that's why we're pulled, like, as humans, as souls.
we were a group of women, and not that that really matters because I feel like this synergy could be with any group of like-minded individuals, but it was fascinating to me how what I was worrying about or how I thought other people's perception of me might be, or how people are experiencing me in a moment where I was challenged or in a moment where they were challenged. And as we all shared and became comfortable and courageous enough to be vulnerable and share openly with one another, the experience just became more beautiful by the moment. Like, honestly, just, setting down my own thoughts about how people must be experiencing me or not enjoying me or whatever that was about. to sit and say, okay, they like me, they're enjoying me, they find me inspirational, they think I'm strong, they think I'm capable, they think I'm energetic, and yet I'm not feeling some of these ways about myself. And at the same time, in conversation, their thoughts are not in alignment with my experience of them. So we quietly, we're supporting and boosting each other's confidence. And I think part of the fallout of that is pushing ourselves, our physical limits, right?
Yeah.
And that the conversations that you led or that just happened organically or quietly between, you know, a couple of people in, you know, privately, I think the overall arching theme of the week was just loving kindness and support. And like, that's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you were saying conversations, I thought of our train conversations too.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
the
it
little
started
bit,
well in advance of meeting on that train platform. Yeah.
like it's all the moments in between. It's not just our hiking, it's all the moments in between. But I think it's the vulnerability that it brings, and know you have your own stuff going on. And so I do too, as the leader, like the whole time. I'm people may not know that, they may feel a little bit, but when we can be open with that and see, okay, someone else has a fear over here, and someone, we're all kind of connected. It's coming from different places, but it kind of strips everything down, and you're kind of who you are when you get there. And then by the end, it's like, yeah, tell me, what do you take back home with you on those type of adventures?
You know, if I look back to our shared adventure with you, Carrie, and I think one common experience that we all took home, and still probably, I think I can speak for all of us, hold some kind of gratitude for, is watching someone overcome a massive fear of heights, right? To the point of tears, to the point of almost like, I want to break down and not do this thing. And like that moment itself was quiet and honoring, but like super just beautiful. Like it was beautiful. And it for that person, but collectively, like everyone held space, right?
Yeah.
When that space was needed for whatever reason. And so, you know, I remember the things that I overcame, but also watching other people overcome, and move beyond some kind of limitation or negative doubt or whatever that was, right? I think that's when I left the mountains, you know, when you're in the mountains, there's some kind of insignificance that's like really cool and freeing. It's like, really, it just doesn't matter, or all this stuff doesn't matter, right? What matters are how we leave other people feeling. And hey, there's lots of people in the world that don't have empathy or don't share our level of empathy, aren't looking for that level of emotional connection, for example. And that at some point just has to be okay. And when you're in the mountains, like really nothing matters and everything is perfect because it's nature and it is all as it should be. And, you know, there's been times I've had a lot of challenges. We all have. But I look back and I tried to find, and I think I find it easier, whatever the gift might be in that moment or that setback. There's a learning, and if the learning is a gift, then that's awesome, right? If we can learn from all the shit that doesn't go our way, that's equally as important, right? So for those people that maybe wanted to do an add-on but didn't, that there's still a gift in that, right? Because they sat in their decision not to, and that's awesome, because how much of our time is spent doing things that we don't want to do or we think we should do, and it's not, you know.
Yes.
So
Everything
Carrie,
you
there's
just
just so
said,
many learnings.
everything you just said is just poetic. And like, I want to almost end there, but I want to add, um, it's taking on your own learnings. And what I love is that this is the core of it's about. Yeah, we're climbing mountains. Yeah, we're challenging ourselves. We're doing that stuff. But I saw people have great learnings from choosing no in something and from owning their no, or owning their I'm staying back today, or owning my body's telling me this today. That's huge. And if you can go back with that, and the competition, there's no competition. This is the thing. What is your truth? And it can be, if you can make a decision on a mountain and say, that's not for me today, then you can own your boundaries when you go back home better. You get to practice in the mountains. Okay, on that note, sister, I'm going to give you the biggest, juiciest, most warmest hug from Austria to Kitchener. Thank you. I just love, it can be a short little period of time, but you always give me goosebumps. You give me just, because you articulate why I do this. Like, so good. And it's like, you need to be on my flyer. Like, just that your words is just like, that's exactly what it's about, you know? So I thank you for that.
Thank you. I always feel you right here. Always. So happy to be part of your tribe. I'm fortunate, very grateful. And I can't wait for the Azores. And then
he's coming to the Azores in September. And there's going to be Azores 2025 too. And I'm traveling to the Azores in 1 month.
Oh, awesome. I can hardly wait. Now, Dolomites is on my radar. I'd like to do a little trifecta up there.
And Shannon's just heading to Amsterdam, and she's going to be in Utah. She's going to be, wow, that's living, baby. Thank you, girlfriend. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to seeing your face very soon again.
Me too.
Have fun on the river cruise.
And have fun in Azores. You're going to go do all your research, and then I get to come and enjoy all the things.
And then I'm going to Madeira too. So I'm going island hopping. Woo! Okay.
Love you, girl.
Love you too. Bye.